Gentlemen, welcome back to Mids from the middle of the Midwest. I'm Nixon the Dark. Rivalry and the Sexual Middle Class, Segment 2. As we discussed, women see their rivals with more clarity than they see men, especially after a threshold for attraction is already established. This can be tricky because the one premise that everyone has agreed on in our contemporary sex debate is that alpha males are the emperor kings of the sexual marketplace. This is true. It's always been true. Hypergamy fucks first and asks questions later. Thus, women take dead aim at alpha males. But hypergamy speaks the language of rivalry, which means women take dead aim at other women. You, my friend, my number 6 in male value, you lack female rivals. One of the biggest mistakes I made as a mid was discouraging true female rivalry the handful of times that I had cultivated it. At the time, I hated the idea of either of them thinking that I was a jerk. So I would focus on one and broke it off with the other. You do the right thing as a man. And then I'd end up losing both. Now that I'm a 9, I barely have time to keep all of these ladies off of me. Rich people problems, I tell you. You have mid status and a mid body. Unfortunately, mid women now grossly inflate their value thanks to the fire hose of male thirst and validation known as the internet. It is harder and harder to cultivate female rivals as a mid. Social opportunities get scarcer and scarcer. Life has become completely disruptive on so many dimensions. The game is stacked against you. In fact, you already know this. You are the biggest victims of sexual market disruption of the last 50 years. Threes have been losing this game for millennia. Nines have been winning it for just as long. Mids now face a harder test of desire than all of their predecessors. Even worse, the sexual reward for winning as a mid is less than it's ever been. Men were built to fuck, marry, and protect women. Women increasingly refuse this offer unless it's from an alpha male and validated by her female rivals. That's not a satisfying answer, but hypergamy doesn't care. If a woman can't sense her female rivals by her interactions with you, she doesn't care. We'll cover a few exceptions in the next segment, but they are nothing to hang your hat on. The concept of pickup artistry, the much maligned vagabond social science of pickup artistry, is based on the belief that any halfway attractive man can mimic all the cues of female rivalry by his behavior alone. For example, let's say you're a 6. For a 6, mushy, sentimental displays of love, affection, and commitment is terrible strategy. Girls receive offers like this from guys starting at puberty. She has long since realized that the average or below average man who makes these offers to her does so because he has no other options. But if the same 6 is aloof and not desperate or eager for her approval, it suggests to her that he doesn't need her approval. He doesn't need it because other women already approve of him. He has access to other women, female rivals. Or if a man plays with her, flirts with her like he's carefree, treats her like a bratty kid sister, famous technique, or for some men and some women, treats her like absolute garbage. She loves it. She loves it because she subconsciously senses that a man behaving this way is doing so because he has other women in his life and he doesn't need her. This is correct to a point, but does it work? That depends. Pickup has a terrible reputation because most people believe that it's either wrong or ineffective or impossible to send fake signals to women. The reason pickup is commonly stereotyped, that sort of stereotype of the cheesy pickup artist, the reason that can be, but rarely is effective is because women vet hundreds of data points on each man they meet. And men can only fake a handful of these signals at a time. Even most like legit pickup artistry is not actually about getting better at lying or deceiving, but actually authentically improving at the traits most women look for in men. We call it get jacked, learn game, convert your talent to clout. Also, getting practice with women and knowing the relevant background, like hypergamy and its progeny. Also, understanding these circumstantial factors. Even the most hardcore cold approach pickup instructors, if they even exist anymore, they would readily acknowledge that no technique is anywhere near as effective as simply having a hot girl with you to alert other women to your inherent male value and then just not acting like an alien. That's pickup in a nutshell. If you haven't done any version of it, I strongly recommend just going up and talking to people. This will help you get over your fear of approach, your fear of other people, your fear of social interaction. I've made segments on this. There's actually not much to learn. Just go up and start talking. It's tough. It's awkward. It can be embarrassing, but it's invaluable experience. Beyond that, if you don't have lots of opportunities to cultivate female rivals, building your status or working on your physicality, those are better uses of your time than game or pickup or trying really hard to force approaches at grocery stores and things like that. And certainly better use of your time than toiling in the friend zone. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and final thought. While we celebrate desire, rivalries get results. If she sees her rivals for your love, your desire is cute and endearing. If she doesn't, your desire is illegal. Anything with this much countervailing force must be handled with caution. I recommend you question your desire. Try to understand where it comes from. Do not try to stop desiring. That's not possible. That's not a thing. It's suggested by the danger of mimetic desire, but it's not possible. However, one area I break from most of the red pill male intersexual dynamic strategy and worldview is that I'm not entirely sold on the idea that male lust deserves to be worshiped and celebrated, no questions asked. Though I'm not even sure how to thread that needle. Men do need sex, and toxic shame over your sex drive is a terrible thing. But so is toxic pride. This goes for every man, myself included. Take care.